One of the things I love to do on this channel is reach out and give you new faces with new stories. Now what I love to do is catch up with people brought on the channel. We brought David and Morgan on about a year ago. So why don't we check in with them, see what's going on? We ran into each other at Bigger Pockets or BPCon, which was a blast. But let's catch up with David and Morgan. How you guys doing?
We're good. Yeah, we're officially in sweater weather in New York. So it's getting
sweater
a little chilly.
weather in New York. What does that mean? Like 40 or 50? What is sweater weather in New York?
I'd say like 50s and then freezing temperatures at night.
Oh, yes.
So it's been cold.
Winter is coming.
It is.
I'll take your Nevada weather any day.
Yeah, exactly. It's like 65, in the morning. It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Drink a cup of coffee outside. It's awesome. Well, why don't we catch up the audience? First off, just remind people who you are, what you do, and then I'd love to hear what you guys have been doing the last 12 months.
Yeah, I'll let you, do you want to?
Yeah, so we're just Morgan and David from New York. We were on last year with Michael Zuber to talk about our sobriety homes. At the time, I believe we had 10 homes. 10 homes.
Yep.
And so we've bought 3 the past year.
Wow.
And yeah, it's been a fun journey, even though the interest rates have been crazy.
Absolutely.
Inflation. Yeah.
Well, let's remind people, what is a sobriety home?
So sobriety home is a home that houses people that are going through recovery. So they've gone through some type of formal recovery, and this is an outlet for them after. So they all live together and they all share the common interest of let's get back on track with their lives together. So they all have a job to do in that home, and they have weekly meetings in terms of staying on that track and being positive people in life.
And they've already gone through recovery.
Correct.
So they have to be placed into a home afterwards to continue their sobriety. And it just gives them a safe place to do so.
Absolutely.
So would you call a sobriety home kind of that stopgap between active recovery and entering normal life? It's kind of like, hey, give you a test run. That's kind of the way to think about it?
That is exactly it. Absolutely. And a lot of our tenants are separated from their family and their kids and their friends. So they can stay in these homes as long as they need until they feel necessary to leave. In the 5 years we've been doing this, every tenant has pretty much stayed in the house unless, they've dropped out of the program or in some instances relapsed. So yeah, it's been
the one
great.
Caveat to that is that we do have a couple homes that are women's homes. As long as they're having a successful journey, then they're allowed to bring their children into that home.
Yeah.
Everyone has to sign off on it, but it brings a positive, a very big positive to the house. Having children run around, I think it helps everyone's recovery a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I am curious. This would seem, when you think short term, midterm, long term, I'm going to place sobriety kind of midterm. Is that fair? Are we talking like 9 months kind of general average?
Yeah. So their timeline is that if they're in the house for a year to a year and a half, they're successful.
Okay.
The house,
All right.
in terms of our lease, though, it's a 3 to 4 year lease. And some of these people, to be honest, will go well past that year and a half just because it's a positive in their life. They have such a good foundation there that they want to stay there forever. And I want them to stay there forever.
And then do you write the lease with some outside agency, thus you quote unquote have it full, and then they place the tenants? How does that work?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. So we do the lease with the nonprofit, and then they source the tenants. So we have no part of that. Nice.
That makes total sense. And then this is, I'm going to call it kind of like rent by room, right? Where in this case, I'm guessing one person per room. I'm just guessing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's a great guess. Depending on the size of the house, normally our houses are 7 to 9 people. That way there's a specific comfort level for all the tenants. They never, in most cases, unless there's like a huge bonus room above a garage, put more than 2 people in a room. So it's more of a roommate, college dorms type situation.
Got it.
Give or
and
take,
are you doing things like the group from Rent by Room that's like, hey, let's go buy a 28 square foot 4-bedroom, and then magically it turns into a 7? Are you doing things like that or no?
Not to that extent. I mean, if anything, we'll add 1 extra bedroom and maybe we'll convert a second dining room into a bedroom. But
you're not trying to maximize bed count.
No.
Nope. We want it to be a comfortable living space for everyone.
Right.
Because unlike Rent by Room, you are the common space is probably seen as a plus, kind of that
Absolutely.
community. Okay.
Sure.
That makes
Yeah.
total sense to me. All right. So let's catch people up. So again, you had 10 homes. How many rooms do you think that was last year?
Oh God. Let's see, 10 times
Maybe
4. So like
50?
4, yeah,
40 to
40 to
50.
50, 40 to
Yeah,
50
I say that's
rooms.
a good
Yep.
average. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and I was actually saying to Morgan the other day, just kind of realizing we have a lot of tenants.
Yeah, we have a lot
And
of tenants.
Yeah, you do.
a lot. So,
Well, like every year, like Mother's Day will come around and I have to think, okay, how many women's houses do we have? All right, do the
Oh,
math. So
that's
we
awesome.
send, like sending the flowers to the women's for Mother's
yep.
Day. You really have to like think and calculate. And we don't know the tenants personally. We just have like an average guesstimate of how many
Yeah.
in each home and that kind of thing.
Yep.
But
All right. Well, so you had 10. Now you're at lucky 13. Tell us
Yes.
about the 3 you picked up this year.
So 2 of them are in Pensacola, one of them's in Jacksonville. So
Okay.
there were definitely, we're, going through the market just like everyone else in terms of high inflation and had to overcome that. So
Yeah.
we just, to be honest, we stuck with everything that we did a year ago that we told you. And we stayed within that box in terms of finding that 4-bed, 2-bath
Yeah.
house to over 2,000 square feet in a good area. We didn't do anything different.
Nice.
And
iBox is everything. I don't know why people don't get it.
it's just
correct.
so simplistic
And
and it works every time. So there's no need to go outside of that comfort
And
zone.
don't get me wrong, our cash flow is a little bit less, but I think the difference a year ago compared to today is that I understood that, the interest rates aren't going to stay at 8%
Mhm.
forever. At
Right.
some point, they're going to go down to 6, maybe 5%. And so we're coming up on potentially refinancing a couple of those.
Yeah.
So it worked out. It worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
Nice. I love that. So now you're at 13. I'm curious, do you have 13 different agencies that you work with, or because you guys are known entities now doing this for multiple years, the entities are like, hey, the next one you got, we want it. Like, what's that
Abs-
like?
Yeah, so we go ahead. I'll let
No,
you.
go ahead.
Okay.
No.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we're sticking with the same nonprofit. The only difference this coming year is that we're starting to branch out to other states as well.
Mhm.
Mm.
So that will be a little different. Not in a bad way whatsoever, but
Yeah.
we're looking at Tennessee,
Mhm.
and it'd be nice to not have hurricanes looming over our heads every September.
And I mean, I understand they're gonna be there too.
Yeah,
But we got into a little situation this year with insurance companies
I
and
bet.
extremely high
Mhm.
rates. So I think we need to move a little bit away from the coast
Okay.
and just checking out the Tennessee market seems really amazing. But we have some homework to do first.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about that homework. So again, I think a lot of people are looking at your success in sobriety homes going, themes kind of rinse and repeat. Like we got
Mhm.
drunks here
Absolutely.
too, not to be belligerent, but that,
Yeah.
we have
No, it's
people in
good.
trouble too that need help. Um, how would one go about doing homework? So you're talking about exploring Tennessee. You have a track record in Florida, clearly.
Mhm.
Mhm.
How do you kind of rinse and repeat that in a new state, a new city? What advice would you give someone who's going, ooh, sobriety homes, I want to taste that?
Correct. So I think the big thing when I started looking at Tennessee is looking obviously at the largest cities in Tennessee. Obviously, one of the most popular is Nashville.
Hmm.
Tennessee Titans played there, so there's that too. But so looking, to be honest, looking where Tennessee Titans play, looking at downtown Nashville, and then
Hmm.
expanding out from there. So once I did that, I used my trusty secretary. I hired her last year. Her name is ChatGPT, and she is phenomenal.
She's great. She doesn't need
Yes.
vacation days,
Nope.
doesn't
And
complain.
she's totally free.
Yes.
So that's a bonus.
Go nuts.
So and to be honest, ChatGPT has been phenomenal. You break it down, say, "Hey, I'm starting to look at everything in Nashville, Tennessee.
Hmm.
Give me a breakdown of demographics. Give me a breakdown of businesses. Give me an idea of areas to retire in." It breaks it down better than any person ever could.
Hmm.
And so it gives me a very, very good buy box within Tennessee, but then even
Nice.
going down further into Nashville.
And let me add to that real quick. We're very lucky because throughout this process, this 5-year journey, we've established many relationships and many realtors. So one of our good friends, she's also one of our realtors. She's relocating to Tennessee.
Ah,
Um, so now that's a body where we cannot obviously be.
yep.
And it's just going to continue the business for her,
Yep.
continue the business for us, establish those relationships. And that's been pretty amazing.
Yes.
So it makes total sense for me how you're evaluating Nashville. You're using ChatGPT, that wonderful secretary. You got boots on the ground that you trust. Love that.
Mhm.
Good, great combination. But how do you meet the agencies? Because I think that's where a lot of people struggle. Like, how would you meet, how do you meet do you just cold call them? You look up their websites and email them? Like, how are you reaching out?
So I'll let you kind of speak to that.
Okay. So for the nonprofit.
Yeah.
So
How do you
you
find it?
just go into Google or ChatGPT and you type in,
It's as
this
simple
is
as
where I
that.
want to live, or this is where I want to invest given my criteria. And I need you to tell me nonprofit organizations or agencies or anything within whatever realm you want. And if that's sobriety houses, you can do that. So for example, for Florida, there's the Elko House. There's the Northeast Florida Sober Living Association. There's the Blue Waters Recovery Foundation. The list goes on. I probably have researched hundreds, if not thousands.
So again, you get the list. I love this. They give you the numbers in the emails and you just pick up the phone and call them.
Absolutely.
That's it. It's legwork and it's time and it's energy and it's education. But at the end of the day, you have to put some sweat equity into your own business if you want to be successful.
Well, I love this process, A, because it's simple.
Yep.
And B, the person you're calling likely has an appetite that they can't fill, right? They have more demand than supply of homes.
Oh, absolutely.
So they're gonna enjoy that phone call. Like, oh, and this is what we want. This is where we're looking. They're going to tell you what part of town, what room configuration, what the lease rates are, how long they do it for. Like, they're going to be almost salivating when they talk to you.
That's
Absolutely.
it. Yep.
And I mean, I know for you have your listeners, they're all over the country, all over the world. And so you have, your listeners that live in Connecticut, California, Washington State. It's as easy as that, like that Morgan said, just going on Google or ChatGPT, putting in that information, and it can work anywhere.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of people in my audience that have lots of questions about sobriety houses. This is your area of expertise. How can they reach out to you, follow you, DM you? Where do we send them? Let's ask that right now. We'll do it again at the end.
Yep.
Sure. So we have our general website. It's stanhopecapitallllc.com. And then underneath there, we have all of our handles for our Instagram page, which I'm running solely. Nobody works for us. It's just Dave and I. So I'm trying to do my best to upload content when I can and record little videos on what we think people really want to know. But Instagram's a great place, and you'll see our Stanhope Capital LLC. We can be DM'd right on there.
And it's Stan with an S. Stanhope Capital.
Stanhope-capital.com.
Oh, for our website.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, let's make sure you guys reach out, because I know there's tons of opportunity here. Again, I think sobriety houses is a great. I like it as a stopgap. Like, I see a lot of movement rent by room, and I see kind of the cannibalization of homes, and it doesn't make me feel great turning a 5-bedroom home into a 9-bedroom home. It just doesn't feel right to me. I think sobriety homes and these recovery homes are a nice, and then you just lease it to one body. I mean, talk about no turnover, and it's just a magic, I think.
I look at rent by the room, and this is just me personally, but I look at rent by the room the same as I look at Airbnb. It's just another fad. It will go away in the next year and a half. Correct. It'll go away in a year and a half. That's it. Sober living is something that's been around for
decades,
40, 50 years.
Oh, forever.
And long-term rentals is something that's going to be around for another 40 or 50 forever. And it's not a fad. And that's the difference.
No, I agree 1,000%. Again, I think room by room is going to be a thing everywhere, but I think it is a fad like Airbnb. There will also be towns that go up against it. You're going to see more and more regulation against it. It's coming, right? Anytime the wave goes out, it gets smacked back. This is why, recovery homes make so much sense, because again, it's a need that's being filled. Makes total sense.
That's it.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. Well, let's switch gears. Let's talk about BPCon. Again, I've kind of shared with my audience what my takeaways were. You guys were attendees. I'm curious, why'd you fly across the country? Why'd you do it? How'd you maximize the value? And then I have some feedback that I took away from watching you guys' Instagram, but we'll go for why did you go first?
Go ahead.
I wanted to get away from the kids and have a date weekend.
You wanted to be alone with your wife? Yeah. Come on, David, that's not okay.
No, it's so funny because the only time we've really ever left our kids for long term was BBCon 2023 in Orlando. So I think we always look at BBCon every other year. It seems to be our trend, really, as a way to get away. It gives us enough time in between conferences to really soak in what we've learned in time to apply it. And from what we've learned from BBCon this year, Vegas was very overstimulating place. And I feel like, what a cool place. We did a lot of really neat things. We had a good time. In terms of the conferences, I liked a lot of the newer speakers. And a lot of them were kind of talking about things that weren't necessarily the FIRE movement, which we can really appreciate. And I can talk more on that after, but
No, it was something phenomenal. It was nice being back on the West Coast. I was stationed out there in the Air Force, so it was nice to be back in the desert.
yeah.
And it was great just being, I think for me, like you said, every 2 years, it's a nice refresh of, hey, this is what we're doing in real estate. There are other people that are going through the similar journey, because everyone goes back to their town. And someone said this to us at the conference. They go back to their town. Not all their friends or family are within the real estate space. So it's kind of I don't want to say it's kind of a validation that, yes, I'm doing this journey correctly. There's other people that have the same headaches, but there is a good end goal in sight.
Yeah, I love it. One of the things that I loved about your Instagram feed is not only did you give just due to the event, which was awesome, like you had summaries and pictures and all of that, but you also took time to do some really cool things outside of the event. The one that I am most jealous of, and I told your wife this, is y'all rented a fancy car. Come on.
Yes.
What is that about? That's got to be a dream.
Yes, it was. It was a Lamborghini Huracan. Next time that we come out to Vegas, you'll have to come with us.
There you go. Yeah, that was well done. Well done.
We joked because, we're in the real estate space, and it's like, don't spend frivolously and don't get on that hamster wheel, right? That you talk about all the time. And I'm like, we dropped some good money to ride that sports car for a couple hours, but it was well worth every penny. It's our Christmas gift to each other.
Nice.
But yeah, it was beautiful.
Michael,
did you both drive? I'm sorry.
Yes.
You both
yeah,
drive?
we did. Yeah. Because I've always loved supercars, and Lamborghini is probably one of like my favorite. So it was more my dream, and we could have picked I don't know, like 15 different vehicles, and that was the one.
The Lamborghini Huracan.
Yes.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
Wasn't your dream car this is going back years ago, but wasn't your dream car Mercedes SL?
Yeah, 550 or 500 at the time. Yeah.
Yes. And I don't know, it just made me think of that. We're not going to go purchase a Lamborghini tomorrow, but it's a fun vacation away and it's something to enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah,
and you
cool.
both, and it was important for both of you, and it's a Christmas gift to both of you. That makes it extra special.
And we drove out to the Hoover Dam, and we hadn't been there in like 12 years, maybe.
I love it. Yes.
So yeah, it was just a nice, relaxing afternoon before all the chaos of the event, which followed suit.
Yeah, and let me tell you, owning your dream car, my dream car for 10 years. It was I put 105,000 miles on my dream car, so I smiled every time I saw it. So yes, go get your dream car when it's time, not too early.
That's right, when it's time.
Yes,
when it's time. Yeah, and then I'm curious. You guys were gracious enough. You gave me a coin, which I appreciated. I gave you a shout out the day after, so thank you for that. I remember that, a challenge coin. But I am curious, what did you guys take away from my session other than the technical difficulties that I had to dance through?
Oh my God.
That was fun.
That was my favorite session of the whole conference, of course. But the fact that it's realistic, that everybody can really digest and accomplish. I feel like in the real estate world, so many people are told things that might not be true without putting a lot of legwork into it. Before any of that happens, like you have to go back to the basics and like really reevaluate your life, how much money you actually make. But like a lot of people they say a lot, but they don't do a lot. So that is just so motivating. So many ways.
Yeah, and I agree. I like my favorite slide of all your slides was the hamster wheel, because it's
important.
Very, very relatable to everyone.
Yeah.
And like you had said, you and Dion were talking the other day, and you had said, you could make $300,000 a year, but it doesn't pay, but then you also have someone that makes 50,000. That person that makes 50,000 might end up being more successful because they understand hey, let's not spend frivolously. And I think if everyone just understood that simple concept, then everyone could have that similar journey.
Yeah. I think getting wealthy is a very simple formula. It does take sacrifice. It takes focus, commitment. The first 5 years suck, and it takes a decade. But I mean, you're going to be alive in 10 years anyway. invest like it, act like it. Don't just YOLO life and 10 years from now, you're more in debt and the hamster wheel's bigger. And when you get a really big wheel, it doesn't take a lot to stop it. And that hurts.
Yeah, we just, I was saying to Dave the other night, we just celebrated 5 years of our very first property during COVID. And I'm like, wow, you blink and you're like, 5 years goes by like that, you know, and it goes by so fast. So another 5 more years, if you think about it, it just,
you're halfway there. You're right at the crest.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
It's funny that you mentioned the 5 years in your presentation, because we did hit that 5 years, and it made me think, though, when you said that you do it for 10 years, you're going to be in a whole nother ball game at that point. In 5.5 years or 5 years from now, I'll be done with state police. Life will look very, very, very different.
So cool.
Yeah,
so cool. Well, the other thing you guys did that was monumental, and I'm going to guess you do a lot more of in this last 12 months, is you took outside capital. Talk about how that came to be. Again, social media is awesome for that. And, sometimes you try it once, some is good, more is better. Is this going to be a secret to explode the portfolio? Talk about that.
I think so. So the past 3 that we purchased, one was from other state police member, and he's since retired, but he had wanted to reinvest with us. It went well the first time, so I said, why not? And then the other one that I thought was really just great is just from social media.
Yeah,
and it was a person. He's from Washington State, and he said, "Hey, I saw you on all these different podcasts. Let's just see how it goes." Couldn't be happier right now. And it's such a simple process that we have set up. It's not going through a large equity firm. It's very simple the way we have it structured.
I think that deal was done in like less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, if that.
Like from finding us, listening to us, wiring money, and everything done, it was like really quick.
Yeah, that's the value of what you're doing, Morgan, with social media, because you know this already. You already have evidence of once, but once the dam breaks, the wave is coming.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
I didn't even do it on purpose, right? I just at the time it was a blog. It wasn't even video, right? It was words, and I borrowed like $5 million from people I'd never met. It was wild. Crazy.
It's such a weird feeling. And like, I love social media to share photos of my family and my kids, especially family near and far. But when we talked about like, let's start doing stuff for our business on Instagram, I am like, oh, is that silly? To like record videos of him and I talking, but apparently not. So
apparently it works.
I guess it worked. Yeah. Which is exciting.
I think that in itself, to receive $50,000 from just posting on Instagram, having a couple of videos is very wild to me. And, I will say, plug for Morgan, that she does all the social media. She does Instagram. You will not get me. I will literally break.
You'll show up to the phone call, huh?
Yeah. Right.
Show up to the phone call.
And that's why there's such a balance in how we do business.
Like I mentioned to you beforehand, I can't even do a Facebook reel if I tried to. And so she's phenomenal with that. Her ability to talk to other people and to put it online is great.
Yeah. Well, let's close on this. One of the things that I see in both of you, is true love, true respect, true partnership. Talk about, each one of you give kind of a secret weapon, let's actually do this. David, you talk to the women, and Morgan, you talk to the men that are watching this with one piece of advice that you would give kind of the opposite sex to have a relationship like the two that you enjoy. Let's do ladies first. Morgan, what would you say to the men?
I feel like women are always multitasking. I think that's just how our brains are wired. Science says that's how our brains are wired. I think we need to be gracious with our partners, because if you're, in a monogamous relationship.
Totally stole my
David, think, David, think.
Yeah, you have to understand how the male brain works. If you're in a hetero relationship, you need to understand how the male brain works and take everything with grace. If you think your partner knows something, they might not know something. So I'm always, I think, showing Dave how I expect things to be done, and hopefully he learns. That's just like a little funny between the two of us. But nice. No, I think just having grace, really. And if you're into knowing love languages, I think that really helps.
Nice. Yeah. All right, David. So I should let you go first.
What's my love language?
Well, I can't say what his love language is on YouTube, but
I think. I think for all the ladies out there, whether you're married, whether you're in a relationship, whatever relationship you are with another person, is to, and I agree with you, is to put a little bit of trust in them, but you need to do it together. And we had spoke about this last time we were on your podcast, that it's very, very difficult to do this journey alone. You need to have a spouse with you. And it doesn't mean that you need to, when we started this in 2020, Morgan is at home with our children. She's at home breastfeeding. I wasn't doing that. And I'm going to work. I'm learning, YouTube, podcasts, all that. And so my level of understanding and education is up here. Morgan's is down here for real estate. But to give your spouse a little bit of grace and understand that you're going to catch up at some point. You're going to do that. And we're coming up to that point now. Both of our kids are in school now. And you will reach that point where you're on par with each other and you're both in it together. But you need to have a little bit of grace to do that.
And patience. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. Such a wonderful couple to watch. You guys do such great work, Morgan, on social media. Let's tell them one more time. Where can people follow you, reach out? Because I do think you're going to get a lot of people pinging you for sobriety homes. Where do they go?
Absolutely. So our website is definitely a good place to go. It's www.stanhope-capital.com. And Morgan maintains all the social media, and she has all the Instagram, Facebook handles, all that.
Yep. And it's and our Instagram is stanhopecapitallllc.com, or whatever the Instagram is, not .com, but Stanhope Capital LLC. So you can DM me on there. And we do have an email associated as well. So either works.
Very cool, folks. Give them a ping. Tell me you love this video. Go ahead and ask questions, because I know you guys have some that I missed. Thank you so much, David and Morgan. You guys are amazing. Take care.
Thank you.